Hi, I'm Steve Collins from your travel channel Tell Me Where to Go, and here are 9 amazing facts about the Empire State Building in New York. Number 1. One of the top 5 tallest buildings in New York City, the Empire State Building, is by far the oldest. Construction of the building began in 1930 and after an incredible 13 months or just 410 days was completed in 1931. At its top floor, the Empire State Building stands 1,250 feet or 380 metres tall. Counting the spire and antenna, the building clocks in at a mighty 1,454 feet or 443 metres. It's currently the 4th tallest building in New York City, the 6th tallest in the United States, and the 43rd tallest tower in the world. However, when built, it would remain the world's tallest building for nearly 40 years until the completion of the first World Trade Center tower in 1970. Fact 2. By far the most unusual aspect of the Empire State's building design concerns its 200-foot tower. Convinced that transatlantic airship travel was the wave of the future, the building's owners originally constructed the mast as a docking port for lighter-than-air dirigibles. This harebrained scheme called for the ships to manoeuvre alongside the building and tether themselves to a winching apparatus. Passengers would then exit via an open-air gangplank. Now, wouldn't that have been fun? Then they'd check in at a customs office and make their way to the streets of Manhattan. Unfortunately, the high winds near the building's rooftop proved to be all but impossible for pilots to negotiate. The closest thing to a landing came in September 1931, when a small dirigible tethered itself to the spire for a few minutes. However, the Hindenburg disaster of 1937, when the world's biggest airship exploded in New Jersey, ended transatlantic travel by hydrogen-filled balloons. Fact 3. The distinctive shape of the Empire State Building, with its long, straight tower, tapered, curving upper levels, and sharp, pointed spire at the tip, is thought to have been modelled on the shape of a humble pencil. This most rudimentary of drawing tools that once sketched out its preliminary outlines. 3,400 workers were employed on the construction, and the first 30 floors were completed before details of the ground floor were finalised. Of those thousands of workers, 5 died during construction. Fact 4. Whilst the exterior of the Empire State Building is undoubtedly a cultural icon, its interiors are also highly revered. The lobby of the building was carefully designed in the Art Deco style to complement the exterior, with ribbed marble walls, decorative panels, and zigzag ribbed ceilings. In fact, the lobby of the building is considered so significant that the Landmarks Preservation Commission named it an historic landmark. The interior decorations were based on 2 other buildings, the Reynolds Building in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and the Carew Building in Cincinnati. On the Reynolds Building's 50th anniversary in 1979, the Empire State Building's general manager even sent a card that read, "Happy anniversary, Dad." Fact 5. Long before the attack on the World Trade Center, a plane actually did crash into the Empire State Building. On July the 8th, 1945, the pilot of a B-52 bomber became disoriented by heavy fog and drifted over Manhattan. The pilot, Army Lieutenant Colonel William F. Smith, managed to dodge several skyscrapers but still ploughed into the 78th and 79th floors of the Empire State Building at 200 miles an hour. Smith and 2 crewmen were killed, as well as 11 occupants of the building. As the plane entered the elevator shaft, the cables of 2 cars were severed, including one carrying elevator operator Betty Lou Oliver. The elevator plummeted from the 75th floor, but more than 1,000 feet of cable had fallen to the bottom of the shaft and cushioned the fall. Betty Lou received some terrible injuries, but did survive. Fact 6. The Empire State Building is located in Midtown Manhattan at 350 Fifth Avenue, and it weighs over 360,000 tons. Over 10 million bricks were used in its construction. It contains 602 kilometres of electrical wiring and uses more than 40 million kilowatt hours of electricity each year. There's also 112 kilometres of water pipes. It also has 6,514 windows. About 15,000 people work in the building. The 73 elevators can carry 10,000 people per hour. But if they're not working, it's a mere 1,576 stairs to the top floor. Some people are willing to do this to compete in the Empire State Building run-up, with the fastest time set by Australian cyclist Paul Craik in 2003 in 9 minutes and 22 seconds. Another Australian, Susie Walsham, won her 10th female title in the annual run-up race to the Empire State Building in 2019. Fact 7. The building is an effective lightning rod. It is hit by lightning over 100 times per year. Legend has it that lightning isn't the only spark conducted by the building. Static electricity near the top of the building can sometimes produce sparks when a couple kisses. There is a hidden 103rd floor that is accessed for VIP experiences. The likes of Taylor Swift, Ariana Grande and Hugh Jackman have all been photographed on this elusive level. On a clear day, guests can see 5 states from the Empire State Building Observatory and 80 miles in all directions. Plus, the Empire State Building is considered to be so important that it has its own zip code. Fact 8. The observation deck on the 85th floor attracts 4 million visitors a year. It wraps around the building's spire, providing 360-degree views of New York, Brooklyn, Queens and beyond. It's open 365 days of the year. The building is lit up at night and the lighting patterns do change. From a personal experience, I can recommend going up late at night as the views of the New York lights are very impressive. Also, if you go up after 8 p.m, the crowds have really thinned out by then. You can immerse yourself in the Empire State Building story on your way to the top, located with exhibits on both the 2nd and 80th floors. And amazing fact 9. Many movies have been filmed at the Empire State Building, but of the more than 90 movies featuring the Empire State Building, none is more famous than 1933's King Kong, which ends with the titular giant ape scaling the skyscraper and being attacked by swarming biplanes. Kong came back to haunt the building many years later. The original scene was shot in a studio, but for the film's 50th anniversary in April 1983, a balloon company president tried to recreate it by attaching an inflatable King Kong to the Empire State's mooring mast. Unfortunately, the stunt didn't go as planned. The 84-foot Kong balloon suffered a tear while being inflated, ruining a plan to have it buzzed by vintage aircraft. It was finally inflated a few days later, but only stayed on the building for a short time before another rip forced the project to be scrapped altogether. I do hope that you've enjoyed these amazing facts about New York's Empire State Building. If you have your own story, please share it in the comments. Click the like button and become more involved in our videos by subscribing to our channel. Thank you for supporting Tell Me Where to Go.